All right, what is going on, guys? Got a breakdown for UFC Vegas 49, Green versus Makhachev. This one is going to be at lightweight. We got Faris Ziam taking on Terrance McKinney. Ziam is going to have a 1 inch advantage in reach. He's a couple inches taller. This one was supposed to go down a few weeks ago, but it got scratched on fight day. I remember being so bummed out when this got scratched. This was the fight I was looking most forward to on that fight night card, People's main event for sure. And they ended up moving it back. But we actually have a little bit better value if you were on Terrance McKinney, which I was last time. But I'll just get right into it. So for Ziam, coming in on a nice 2 fight winning streak, but there needs to be an asterisk next to these, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, stylistically, Ziam, you look at him, you're like, this guy should be a great kickboxer. He should just use his range. He's got very fast hands. Very good jab. He sticks it out there regularly. It's stiff. Just scores points with it. He has the tools. And against Don Madge in his UFC debut, he just kind of gets pummeled into the fence the whole time. It's pretty much all that happened in that fight. I would say 30-27 Don Madge, but not a whole lot happening. Then against Jamie Mullarkey, it's a win for him, right? But Mullarkey just let that fight get away from him. There was a lot of people saying robbery. I disagreed. It's actually one of the quintessential bad beats for me. When I think back to bad beats, it's that one. And Jamie Mullarkey had a lot of top control in that fight. He took him down a couple times in the second and third, and he was on top. But the problem is he just wasn't throwing at all, like at all. And in the third round, Ziam just lands a nice combination on the feet. Then he gets taken down, spends much of the third round just on the ground. But Mullarkey doesn't throw any ground and pound. And if he's just doing chipping ground and pound, I think he erases that little flurry that Ziam had in the third. I think he wins that fight pretty easily. But yeah, he lets that one get away from him. And it's a win for Faris Ziam. So it's a good win to have on Ziam's resume. You look at it, you're like, oh, Jamie Mullarkey, that's a good win. But it's like, you got to go back and watch it. It was a weird one. And then against Luigi Vendramini. So first 2 rounds, Ziam does what you want him to do. He's just very good kickboxer, manages range very well. Luigi could not close the distance. He's just getting his face jabbed off, and Ziam's just scoring points. He looks good. But then Luigi in the third starts to accept that jab. He's not gonna worry about just getting picked off on the outside anymore. He eats a couple. He comes in, lands his own offense, ends up wobbling him, knocking him down, spending some time on top. I believe he gets a 10-8 or almost gets a 10-8. Yeah, that's what it was. It was almost a 10-8. There was an argument for that. I think it was the correct decision because Ziam did pop back up. And, 10-9, he gets out of there with a win. But just by the skin of his teeth, it was really, really greasy for Faris Ziam. But again, this guy has very good skill set. He's very young. He's a developing fighter. The striking base is there. He does have a decent submission game. All right get up ability. He has been challenged by some grapplers, but it may or may not matter in this one. And so for Terrance McKinney, the owner of the fastest UFC debut knockout when he KO'd Matt Frivola with just a clean hook in his UFC debut, which I believe was on short notice. And yeah, before that, it's just been more of the same. All first round stoppages for Terrance McKinney. This guy has bricks for hands, and he used to wrestle a lot more too. When he first started, he would wrestle a good amount. He's got good ground and pound. He has a couple KOs by ground and pound, but yeah, these are decent wins with LFA against decent opponents too, and he's just destroying people. We all saw Matt Frivola bounce back well from that win, so he's still a game fighter. And he comes in and picks up a win over a very credentialed UFC fighter in his debut, and the losses are decent too. He lost to Derek Minner, got caught in a triangle in the first round. I think that's when again he used to wrestle a lot more, and he does have powerful takedowns. Against Sean Woodson, he was pretty much trashing him with the wrestling. And Sean Woodson is very good. I'm very high on Sean Woodson. I think he's one of the best strikers in the division. And Terrance McKinney was just using his wrestling very well until he just got caught by a flying knee. It's just a shitty way to lose. That gives him his second pro loss. And then again against Derek Minner, gets caught in a triangle, because at that point McKinney's game was a little bit more based on the ground. And Derek Minner, I know he hasn't been very successful in the UFC, especially as of late, but he definitely has good submission game off of his back. So, they're respectable losses, and obviously coming into this one, I would give the edge in power and aggression to McKinney, 100%. And probably the edge on the ground too, if he wants to go that route. It'll be interesting to see what he wants to do with that because Ziam has, shown that he can get taken down. I don't know. It's just with Terrance McKinney's game, there's a lot of unknowns because his fight time is so short. He just gets the finish so often that I don't know what his extended wrestling game looks like, or like is he the type of guy where he gets the fight to the ground and he's just going to go for a submission, or just go wild with ground and pound, or is he going to take his time and try to like flatten him out and do something? I just don't know. I kind of tend to think that Terrance McKinney is just the guy who likes to go for the finish no matter what, and that is why I am definitely betting Terrance McKinney in this spot. I was on it last time too, and it was more of a pick 'em last time, and I'm sure it'll probably close somewhat close to that. Though money did appear to be coming in on Ziam. Like if I remember correctly, this is what it looked like on fight day before it got canceled. Because I remember I got my bet in on Terrance McKinney at like plus 100, or maybe even like minus 110. And then by fight day, it was like plus 116 on FanDuel. And I was like, damn, I kind of missed out. But yeah, I think plus 116 is just great value on Terrance McKinney. Again, I like a lot of what I've seen from Ziam, but at the same time, he does seem like he's a little green in a couple areas. And he has shown me that he's a little bit tentative sometimes. When he does his best work, it's when he's just fighting off of his back foot, just controlling distance. And we saw that Luigi was able to just kind of, once he just stopped worrying about it, he just walked right through it, and he did a lot of damage. I think that Terrance McKinney is going to do that from the outset, and I just don't think he's going to let Ziam get into a striking rhythm. He's going to make the fight ugly, march forward, and either take him down, get a ground and pound KO, or just get a KO on the feet because he's got hands. But you know, Terrance McKinney, he's got to go to the decision at some point, right? Like, I don't know, but when you got a guy who just likes to go for the finish, those are the types of fighters I like to bet on, because they're always going to be pushing the action. And on DK, it's a little bit closer. You got plus 105 for Terrance McKinney, and yeah, I probably am going to take a shot at inside the distance, but probably not too much. I've already got half a unit on this fight, and at plus 116, I'm tempted to just stick with that because it's just such a good price, I feel like. But we'll see. So it is a close fight. I just like Terrance McKinney's aggression, and he's just shown me a little bit more. But at the same time, he has such a low fight time because he just gets to finish all the time. So there are some question marks. And, Ziam is a capable prospect himself. Overall, very fun fight. So thanks for watching, guys. Sure to subscribe and take it easy.